Labour MP Dawn Butler has caused quite a controversy by sharing a tweet linking Kemi Badenoch to white supremacy in Blackface. So, is Dawn Butler correct? Well, let's talk about Kemi Badenoch's track record on racism and race relations in the UK. Kemi Badenoch partially led her leadership campaign on the fact that she was a black woman. She actually said that Labour can't accuse me of being racist because I am black, thus using identity politics to deflect any potential accusations of racism towards the Tory party, thus making it really difficult to talk about racism. And if there is a racist incident or racism within the party, she will just say, oh, the Tory party is not racist. They have a black leader. And it makes it difficult to have a real conversation about racism. This is in itself a form of racism. Also, one of her biggest, I think, racist beliefs is the fact that she doesn't believe that systemic and structural racism exist. According to her, racism was pretty much solved in the late 90s, early 2000s. Whereas in reality, just because we weren't talking about it as much and not as politicized in terms of racism, doesn't mean doesn't exist. Ask anybody who grew up at that time, did they face any racism? I guarantee they will have a story or two to tell. So, she denies the systemic racism, the fact that young black men are 7 times more likely to be stop and searched. They're more likely to get longer sentences for the same crime, harder to find jobs. They're more likely to be situated in low paid, more precarious work. And this is objectively structural racism. People are being treated differently based on their skin color. Also, she wants to make it illegal to teach critical race theory, basically black history, the idea that black people have a specific and political and economic history that is, taught in universities. It's not really taught in schools, but for her, it's being taught in schools. It's not really, and it should be made illegal. This is censorship, academic censorship, and banning ideas. It's very autocratic, very fascistic, but saying that you can't teach about white privilege, which is real, about the is systemic and structural racism in the UK, is a really dangerous thing. And it is racist because you're saying it doesn't exist. Let's get on with it. No, it's real, it's evidence. Look into the data, look into the evidence for yourself. Next, Frank Hester, a big Tory donor who gave them £10 million, said some pretty horrible things about Diane Abbott. He said, Diane Abbott makes you want to hate all black women. And what was Kemi Badenoch's response? Well, she said it was trivial and that we should forgive Frank Hester. So, my question is, would Kemi Badenoch forgive Dawn Butler? I'm sure she wouldn't. So, is Dawn Butler correct in saying that pretty much Kemi Badenoch is racist, she supports white supremacy? I don't think this is controversial at all. I think she denies the reality of systemic racism. She doesn't want to teach black history in schools and education. She calls racism trivial. And she uses her own race to deflect any accusations of racism. This, in my eyes, is supporting white supremacy. She's a racist, and I think we need to call her out. That's all I have for you. Comment below what your thoughts are, and I'll see you in the next video.